welcome back. If you're a first timer here, a very, very warm welcome to you. You guys can all find me over on the Poshmark app at LMW2491. The purpose of today's video is to give you guys my top 10 ways Poshmark has changed my life. So today's video is going to be a little bit more heartfelt, a little more sentimental, and I really want you guys to take away something from this video, whether you're a current seller on the Poshmark app or maybe you're just looking into it. So I'm just hoping that every single person that stumbles upon this video can take something away from the life-changing effects that selling on this platform can and will have for you if you're ready to commit some time and some energy to this type of work. Here we go. All right, so my first reason why I love Poshmark, I've got them in my little notebook here, is that it is an enjoyable hobby. Now, I have other hobbies in life. I love to play the piano. I love to read and write. I love to teach during the school year. You know, I love to play tennis. I love to do Zumba. I have hobbies, but this hobby is something that allows me to be very creative. And I feel like coming from the family that I have and just being the type of person that I am a hugely creative person. So this type of online selling niche allows me to channel that creativity into something that literally every time I send a package out, I can put some of my personalized touch on it. And I can be creative in how I wrap my shipments and how I'm personalizing the card, depending on if it's a repeat buyer or not. It's just really fun that way for me. And so, again, my number one is that this is just a really nice hobby to have, and it excites me to be able to come home and do this type of work. My number two reason that I love Poshmark is because I feel personally that it aids my mental health. It allows me personally to focus a lot of my energy during the day on profitability. It allows me to see the bigger picture of working hard to make a profit. It allows me to understand the connection between what it means to be active on a social media site these days and have sales follow that, rather than to be kind of like a stagnant figure behind a screen, not have any interaction and having kind of crappy sales because of it. So it kind of allows me to see that relationship. It aids my mental health in knowing that this field is growing. The data and the numbers prove that this is a field that is really kind of taking the bull by its horns and just moving forward. And I love the fact that I can look to different media platforms online. We're talking Instagram, we're talking Facebook, Poshmark groups, we're talking even Poshmark itself as a social network, and seeing all these successful women and people selling on this platform, gaining information from them, having that community, it's really this mental health thing. It allows you to see that you're not the only one doing this successfully. There are so many other success stories, and that really promotes a sense of community, and that's huge, I think, for mental health. So knowing that there's this community that backs what I do and is founded by a really awesome person who has a great heart, whose business mind is in the right place, that is great. That is huge. And that keeps me pumped and stoked to do what I do. And I couldn't be happier when it comes to how much this job fulfills me mentally, as well as emotionally. All right, so my number three reason that I love Poshmark is kind of a piggyback off of number two, and that is that Poshmark forces continual learning. Now, as a teacher, I am huge on continual learning. I think that once you stop learning, you have hit a plateau. Once the desire to stop learning occurs, you're kind of running stagnant, and it's really hard to get ahead, move forward, keep up with the times. So what I love about Poshmark is that it forces you to continuously improve your game plan as you go along to promote your own closet, to make more sales, and ultimately make a better income or more money monthly. And so A few ways that I find myself continually learning are reading up online on business reports, business trends, retail trends, e-commerce articles, you name it. If it has to do with fashion and it has to do with selling online, I am reading up on that information so that I know how to market to my customers the best that I can. The second thing that I'm doing, kind of also piggybacks off number 2, is I am looking to other people that are doing this super successfully. We're talking Beck's a Boss Lady. I've watched all of her videos. We're talking Lindy Glenn. I'm name dropping here, and I don't care because these ladies are my idols. I'm talking Alexandra McQueen. I'm talking the Gray Fawn, Alex. So there's tons of ladies that I continuously learn from on Instagram, on YouTube, that are just doing this so well, and they are really just like the epitome of what this platform was meant for and the success that you can hit doing this. So I find myself seeking this information out. Poshmark also pushes and encourages me to be crazy smart when it comes to brand knowledge and what types of brands will sell for a higher amount and what types of brands won't, based on different things, different characteristics, such as seasonality, based on material content, based on size, based on where that item was made, things like that, based on obviously the designer. So it really does encourage this continual learning, which I love because I never find myself at a plateau or stagnant, since I know where to look to get more knowledge about what I'm seeking. And because I know that the only way to grow my business is if I am continuously learning with the times and changing up my methodology to what is fully functional and works for both myself and my customer base. All right, so the fourth reason that Poshmark has changed my life is that selling on this platform has certainly pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I find that when somebody or something can successfully do that with me, that thing, that person, that whatever is probably going to make a impact or a change in my life, because I am somebody who loves comfort. I am somebody who thrives in comfort. I do not like conflict. I do not like not being comfortable. And so this actually just pushes me out of my comfort zone because I know that to grow my business, for instance, I needed to start a YouTube channel. And I am not comfortable doing this. It is something that's just not natural for me. And if I could choose to do it or not, I don't know that I would, just because it's a little bit odd to me still. I'm not meant for the camera. But that's one way it's pushing me. And then another way that it pushes me out of my comfort zone is it's teaching me not to be super reactive, even though that's very easy to do online. It's a very safe thing to do online, unfortunately, but it's teaching me to use this space as a professional space and not to feed into the negativity that can sometimes happen with some buyers and sellers on the platform. If you're new to Poshmark, that negativity is pretty minimal, so it's not like at all a deterrent from selling on this platform. But again, this just pushes me out of my comfort zone to mainly get out and do more, even if it's uncomfortable, and to not be so reactive. And a lot of times that's kind of challenging. I am only human after all. So it does push me that way, and I think it's making me a better person because it's allowing me to approach my work a little bit differently, and I do see personal growth coming from that. Number 5 is that, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, Poshmark has changed my life because it allows me to channel my creativity. I'm going to preface this one by saying, since I was 4 years old, I have played the piano. I actually started college as a piano performance major at UW-Madison, and I soon switched over to elementary education afterwards. But I'm still playing the piano. I still love playing my instrument, and I get to be really expressive and really creative when I do that. And right now I'm living in this space, which is a condo that is too tiny, unfortunately, to hold my instrument, my piano, my baby, my go-to thing that I can be creative with. So guess what's replaced it? Poshmark. And I am very grateful for that. It really does allow me to express myself. It allows me to do that by, choosing how to take my photos. Do I want to do a flat lay today? Do I want to hang it on my mannequin? Do I want to photograph against my wall in a different position? Do I want to use a prop or not, right? It allows me to be creative in how I list. What do I want my listings to look like today in my descriptions? Are those going to be standard, or am I going to do something a little bit more fun and exciting for my customer to read? So I just really like that it allows me to channel that creativity because I am a naturally creative person. That is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be doing something creative where I get to kind of think outside the box and put that onto other people or collaborate with other people about that. And this is really kind of taking that to the next level for me in a different sort of way. Obviously, it's not musical, so it's not necessarily fulfilling the musical aspect of the things that I would be doing if I had my piano here, but it does really, I find that it fulfills a big portion of what I'm seeking to get out of a hobby, which is fun and allows me to express myself. All right, so number 6, I absolutely love, and if you're a Poshmark seller too, you might know what I'm talking about when I say that another reason that Poshmark has changed my life is because it has allowed me to become substantially more frugal with my money. When I go to thrift, for instance, I am looking for really good brands in really good condition, and I'm buying these brands for anywhere between $3 and generally like $7.50 per piece. And that has really allowed me to be reflective and, as a consumer, see that there's a bigger picture in terms of fashion, and that I do not need to be going to a retail store every single week and buying myself a new outfit just because it feels good, or just because I need this for work, or just because I don't have any more black shoes. So what I do with my thrifting has really taught me that that type of shopping, that type of spending is completely unnecessary when you can find items that are just as good and oftentimes new with tags at a thrift store for a fifth of the price that you would pay retail, which is crazy. So my mentality has shifted completely when it comes to shopping. I see shopping in a completely different light. I go into Kohl's now, and I don't think that anything is worth what they're pricing it at, even after the sale that they've marked it down 90% on. And I just have become more self-aware when it comes to shopping for myself and for other people. All right, number 7, I am very passionate about, and I believe this is the main reason that Poshmark has changed a lot of people's lives, is because the income that you can make if you're willing to work hard is unbeatable for the work that it is. So essentially, the way that I view Poshmark as a job is that the amount of work that you put in, you will get that amount of reward out. And that is pretty much just a thing that all of us Poshers know in terms of, working hard to get more money. And there's not a lot of jobs, unfortunately, in, the career fields that you might find yourself in, that I might find myself in, that actually promote almost like a commission-based mindset where it's, you work hard, or, the harder that you try to establish this relationship with this person, the more financial stability you're going to get out of it, or the bigger your paycheck will be. Poshmark is that, though. And that's really crazy, and it's really a blessing. You get to decide how much you want your income to be, and then from that you get to backwards design or think about how hard you need to work to get there. It's crazy. It's really cool.
I want a place to stay.